Stories that inspire, entertain, and spread knowledge. Welcome to Storify.
The biting January wind whipped through the parking lot, sending shivers down our spines and making us question our sanity for a brief moment. It was a chilling prelude to the challenge that awaited us, a stark reminder of nature's raw power and unpredictability. Adam, bundled in layers of fleece and Gore-Tex, grinned at his three friends, his eyes sparkling with excitement and a hint of mischief. Every year they reunited for an adventure, a tradition forged in their college years, a bond that had only grown stronger with time. This year, it was Mount Washington, the Northeast's notoriously unpredictable giant, known for its fierce winds and sudden weather changes. Connor, ever the pragmatist, checked his backpack one last time. Avalanche transceivers? Check. Shovels and probes? Check. He was meticulous, ensuring every piece of gear was in place. He looked at the others, his face serious, a stark contrast to the lighthearted banter that had filled the air moments before. "The mountain doesn't care about our plans. We stick together, always," he reminded them, his voice firm and unwavering. Rich, the jokester of the group, clapped a gloved hand on Connor's shoulder, his laughter a welcome warmth in the cold. "Relax, my friend, we'll be fine. Think of the view from the top," he said, his optimism infectious. Tristan, quiet and observant, nodded in agreement. "Just like old times," he murmured, a small smile playing on his lips. Their bond, tempered in the fires of past adventures, would be their greatest asset against the unforgiving wilderness that lay ahead. They knew that together, they could face anything. The lower slopes were deceptively gentle, the rhythmic crunch of boots on snow the only sound breaking the silence. Sunlight glinted off the snow-laden pines, painting a picture of pristine beauty. As they climbed, the air grew thinner, each breath a conscious effort. Reaching the tree line they paused, their breath forming white plumes in the frigid air. Above them, the summit ridge loomed, a stark and unforgiving landscape of rock and ice. The wind, now a constant roar, tore at their clothing, a reminder of the mountain's raw power. "Remember!" Adam yelled, his voice almost snatched away by the wind, short ropes and steady steps. "We're in this together." They pushed onward, their excitement growing with each upward step. The summit, their goal, seemed tantalizingly close. Little did they know, the mountain had other plans. The snow beneath their feet, once firm and reassuring, had transformed into a treacherous, unstable layer. The wind howled louder, whipping up swirling eddies of snow that obscured the trail ahead. An unsettling premonition settled over Adam. "Hold up, guys!" he shouted, his words barely audible above the wind's roar. "Something doesn't feel right." As if in answer, a deep, guttural groan resonated from the heart of the mountain. The ground beneath their feet trembled, a subtle but undeniable tremor. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through the layers of their gear, lodging deep within their chests. Before anyone could react, a crack, like a gunshot, split the air. High above, a section of the snowpack, vast and heavy, detached itself from the mountainside and began to slide. The avalanche had begun. The mountain roared, unleashing a torrent of white death. The avalanche, a churning, monstrous wave of snow and ice, surged down the slope, engulfing everything in its path. Adam's world dissolved into a blinding chaos of white. He instinctively lunged for a solid outcropping of rock, the roar of the avalanche drowning out all other thoughts. The force of the snow slammed him against the rock, the air driven from his lungs. He clung desperately, his world reduced to the icy grip of survival. Then, as quickly as it began, the roaring stopped. The world was silent, blanketed in an eerie stillness. Adam lay there, buried beneath the snow, his breath ragged in the sudden quiet. He was alive, but the mountain wasn't finished with him yet. Section 5. Buried alive. Panic clawed at Adam's throat. He struggled against the suffocating weight of the snow, his movements sluggish and uncoordinated. A single terrifying thought pulsed in his mind. His hand, scraping against the compacted snow, found a small pocket of air. Hope, fragile but tenacious, flickered within him. He furiously clawed at the snow, desperate to widen the space, to draw in a life-giving breath. His chest constricted, each breath a burning reminder of his dwindling air supply. He knew he had to remain calm, to conserve his energy, but fear, a relentless enemy, whispered doubts in his ear. Section 6. A desperate search. Finally gasping, he broke free of the snow's suffocating grip. The world spun, a dizzying panorama of white and blue. He lay there for a moment, regaining his breath, the cold air stinging his lungs. Then, the memory of his friend slammed into him, cold and sharp as an ice axe. Connor, Rich, Tristan, where were they? He struggled to his feet, his legs shaky beneath him. His voice, when he called out, was a ragged whisper against the vast silence of the mountain. Connor, Rich, Tristan. The only response was the mournful sigh of the wind. Despair threatened to consume him, but he pushed it down. He had to find them. He had to keep hope alive. Section 7. The long night. The hours stretched into an eternity of cold and fear. The wind howled through the trees, a constant reminder of the unforgiving environment. Adam searched frantically, his calls growing hoarse, his hope dwindling with each passing moment. His voice echoed back to him, swallowed by the vast empty wilderness. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the snow-covered slopes in shades of purple and gray. The beauty of the scene was lost on Adam, who could only think of survival. The bitter cold seeped into his bones, threatening to steal his strength, his will. Each breath was a struggle, a battle against the freezing air. He knew hypothermia was a very real danger, but he couldn't give up. Every step was a test of his resolve, every moment a fight against the encroaching numbness. He owed it to his friends, to the bond they shared, to keep searching. Memories of their laughter and camaraderie fueled his determination. As darkness enveloped the mountain, he huddled down behind a rocky outcrop, seeking meager shelter from the biting wind. The rock provided little warmth, but it was better than nothing. He pulled out his emergency blanket, a thin barrier against the relentless cold. The metallic crinkle of the blanket was a small comfort in the vast, silent night. He closed his eyes, picturing their faces, clinging to the memory of their laughter. He had to survive. The thought of seeing them again was the only thing keeping him going. He had to believe that they were out there, somewhere, fighting for their lives just as he was. The bond they shared was his lifeline, a thread of hope in the darkness. Section 8. Rescue. The sound, faint but distinct, cut through the howling wind. The whirring blades of a helicopter, a beacon of hope in the darkness. Adam surged to his feet, his heart pounding against his ribs. He stumbled toward the sound, his voice raw as he screamed. He saw the helicopter hovering in the distance, its searchlights scanning the mountainside. He waved his arms frantically, his silhouette a dark shadow against the snow. The helicopter circled closer, its light illuminating the desolate landscape. And then, he saw them. Tristan and Rich, battered but alive, being helped into the helicopter. Relief, overwhelming and powerful, washed over him. They were found. They were safe. Section 9. Scars and Summits. This is a story of resilience, of facing the harshest elements and emerging stronger. It's a tale of friendship, of bonds tested and unbroken, and of the indomitable human spirit. The hospital room was bright and sterile, a stark contrast to the unforgiving wilderness they had faced. The beeping of machines and the sterile smell of antiseptic were a far cry from the howling winds and biting cold of the mountain. Connor lay in the bed, his chest swathed in bandages, his breathing shallow but steady. Each breath was a reminder of the avalanche that had nearly claimed his life, a testament to his will to survive. The avalanche had taken its toll, leaving him with broken ribs and a punctured lung, but he was alive. They all were. The rescue operation had been swift, a race against time and nature, and they had won. As Adam looked at his friends, he felt a profound sense of gratitude, a deep appreciation for the fragility of life and the enduring strength of their bond. They had been through so much together, and their friendship had only grown stronger. They had faced death together, and they had emerged forever marked by the experience but unbroken. The harsh conditions had tested their limits, but they had persevered, drawing strength from each other. The mountain had tested them, pushing them to their limits, but it had also reminded them of what truly mattered: loyalty, courage, and the unwavering support of true friends. Each step they took was a testament to their determination and their unyielding spirit. The scars, both physical and emotional, would remain, a testament to their ordeal. These scars were not just marks of pain, but symbols of their survival, their resilience, and their journey. But so too would the memories of their shared adventure, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, hope and friendship could prevail. Around the campfire, they would recount their tales, each story a thread in the tapestry of their shared experience. They would climb again, he knew. The call of the mountains was too strong to resist, a siren song that beckoned them to new heights and new challenges. The mountains called to them, and they were drawn to their challenge. Each peak was a new adventure, a new test of their mettle and their bond. But they would climb with a newfound respect for the power of nature, a deeper understanding of their own limits, and an unbreakable bond forged in the heart of the storm. Together, they would face whatever came next, ready to conquer new summits and create new memories.